Okay, we are recording. So this is our power hour. And if you're watching the playback, I just got done explaining to the girls, this is just what it looks like when I sat down to work my business for an hour. I want to first tell you that I do work on Sundays. I don't do it now that I'm doing this full time, but before when I had a full-time job, I always had a pocket of time on Sunday that I used to sit down and really plan out my week and what it was going to look like. And that's just like meal prep. When you sit down and you meal prep on Sundays and you get all of that done, then the rest of the week is a lot easier for you with your eating and your clean eating. When you sit down and you prep out your business for the week and you make a plan for what you're going to do, it makes the rest of the week a lot easier for you. So on Sundays, and I'm going to kind of show you what I do, and yours is going to look different based on how much time you spend. If you spend an hour on your business. For me now, it's full time, so I'm spending a couple hours a day on my business. But I love this calendar. I don't even know what this is called. Plan a Happy Life, and you can get these at Michael's. I love these because it has it by the month where I can plan my month, but then also I can plan out every day and what I'm going to do for my business that day. I have two things that I always focus on every week. And on Sunday, I sit down and I decide what those two things are going to be that I'm going to focus on. I actually decided this morning that I'm going to start coming on the Dream Team page every Monday and telling you what my focus is. I might do that Sunday, actually, now that I think about it. Just so if you're not quite sure what you should be focusing on, you can kind of mimic me and copy me. Duplication is key in this business. So that is totally fine. So for example, this week, my two focuses are my next challenge group, getting people for my next challenge group, and getting my coaches to hit Success Club that have not hit Success Club yet. So those are my two focuses for this week. Yours might look a little different, but you can obviously copy mine or look at my calendar and see if you want to follow along with the same thing that I'm doing. So I always know what my two focuses are going to be for the week, and that helps me when I sit down to work. I know what my schedule is going to be. I know when I am going to work my business. And like I said at the beginning of the call, whether that's pockets of time, and Casey Withers did an amazing call on Fit Fighter Nation on working in pockets of time, or whether that is a full hour. I know when I'm going to be working that. Now, obviously, we have kids, we have things going on, things happen, and it might not happen the way we want it to, but I have a plan and I try to stay to that plan. When I was working full-time, I knew that I worked 10 minutes in the morning. I knew that I worked 15 minutes in my classroom before I left for the day, and I knew that I worked an hour every night, and I knew that's just what my schedule was going to look like. So now I know what my schedule is going to look like based on doing this full-time, but I know, and I schedule it like it's an appointment that I cannot miss. I have been asked so many times, like, why do you think you're successful in this business? It's consistency. It is consistency. Nothing else but consistency. I show up every single day and I know what needs to be done and I do it. Whether I feel like it or not, I show up and I do these activities that we're going to go over in the next hour. Also, what I do is I sit down and I think about my post that I'm going to schedule. In our new coach training, we went over the color wheel and the different parts. And if you haven't looked at this yet, check out the color wheel because I don't want to go into too much detail tonight about it. But then I know what I'm going to post about during the week. Typically, I know at the beginning of the week what my posts are going to look like. Now, if something funny happens with my kids or I come across a recipe that's an amazing recipe that I want to share, that's impromptu. I always know I'm going to post about my workout in the morning because that shows consistency. That shows my followers that I always show up and I always work out. But I kind of know in advance because I think it takes some time to think about it. And I think a lot of us don't post on social media because we have to think about it and we don't want to think about it. Like, what am I going to post about? And then you sit there and you think about it and then your kids are now calling for you and you're out of time and you don't have anything to post about. So sit down on Sundays or Monday, whenever, and think about your posting schedule. Think about on Tuesday, I'm going to share this recipe because I'm making this recipe. On Monday, I'm going to post a motivational quote from Pinterest. On Wednesday, I'm going to post, I don't know, whatever, like something from your color wheel. You should be posting at least twice a day on your Facebook page, at least twice a day on Instagram, if you're on Instagram. And IG stories, that's a whole nother training. But if you do IG stories, that's an all day type of thing. Now, I don't post typically on IG stories between 4 and 8:30 because that's my time with my family and my kids and when my phone's put up. You'll see sometimes like I'll post a picture of us playing a game or something silly, but I'm not working during that time. But IG stories is all day. Again, that's something we can talk about another time. But make sure you know what your 2 posts are going to be. If you're posting about your workout every day, that takes care of one of your posts right there. That shows people what you're doing every single day. And if you need help with how to post it, especially if you're a newer coach, just ask me. I have people ask me and message me all the time, like, I'm going to post this. Does this look okay? Does this sound all right? And I can tell you, yes, no, maybe change this, or maybe don't say that. And that's totally fine because sometimes it takes a little bit to get the hang of it. Okay, so we're going to start our power hour now. Sorry, I mumbled there for a good 8 minutes. We're going to start our power hour now. I always start my power hour with either music or a YouTube video, one or the other. I've got to find some way to get myself in the zone. And for me, a lot of that is because I'm an introvert. It takes a lot sometimes for me, and I know those of you that just have met me probably don't believe that, but I truly am an introvert. So sometimes it takes a lot for me to get on and start messaging and doing things like that. So I need something to get me focused and get me zoned in. We watch some videos of some top Beachbody coaches, like they listen to gangster rap before they start coaching because they think like that's what gets them in their zone. For me, I like watching a YouTube video. So that is what we're going to do right now. I've got a 3-minute YouTube video, and this is how I start my power hour. Sometimes it's a 3-minute video. Sometimes it's a 10-minute video. Your personal development is another good way to start your power hour, but something to just keep you in the zone. And if you are introverted or shy, or it does take you some courage to do what we're about to do, then do one of these activities. All right, I am going to go ahead and start. Oh, okay. Let me share my screen. Sorry, it takes me a minute to remember how to do this. We're going to watch our YouTube video, and then we're going to get started on the rest of our activities. So this right here is how I start every power hour, with a video like this.
With you is you see difficult as something negative. I want you to see difficult differently. Are you hearing me? I need you to push through that stuff. Push through it. You can't get through it. The more you go through, the more difficult it is, the more challenging it is. Listen to me, the harder it is. Are you hearing me? The more challenging it is. All you're doing, baby, is building muscle.
Most people don't work on their dreams. Why? Because of fear. The fear of failure. They stop growing, they stop working on themselves, they stop stretching, they stop pushing themselves, and they end up becoming very cynical about life, and they throw in the towel on their dreams. Everybody won't see it. Everybody won't join you. Everybody won't have the vision. No one can do it for you but you. You are the one. I've got to make it happen. It's not over until I win.
In life, you're either going to a storm, in a storm, or you coming out. It's a part of life. There's no way around it. So just be careful not to allow the trials and the tribulations to consume you. I don't care if you're a billionaire. I don't care if you're a CEO of one of the most important companies. I don't care if you're an entertainer. Like, I don't care who you are. You can go to the moon. We all have problems. What I'm trying to tell you is this, though. Problems are a part of life. But guess what? They're not life.
It's not going to be easy. There are moments when you're going to doubt yourself. There are rough times are going to come, but they have not come to stay. No matter how bad it is or how bad it gets, you've got to make it your personal business to make it happen. What if all of us took that attitude after we face a rejection and a no, or we have a meeting and no one shows up, or somebody say, you can count on me, and they don't come through? What if we have that kind of attitude? The car's repossessed. Nobody believes in you. You've lost again and again and again. The lights are cut off. That if you want a thing bad enough to go out and fight for it, to work day and night for it, and life seems useless and worthless without it, If neither sickness or pain or body and brain can keep you away from the thing that you want, no matter how bad it is or how bad it gets, say to yourself, it's not over until I win.
Okay, let me stop my share. So that is how I start my power hour, with something like that, because I need some sort of motivation. And after I do that, and those of you that maybe haven't been in this business as long, this is going to kind of sound lame to you, but this is what I do next. I think about my vision every single day. Every single day. What do I want out of this business? And some of you may not even know my story. I wanted out of this business to be able to take my kids to school. That's what I wanted. That was my huge, big, hairy, scary, like I could not even believe when I told my husband that's what I wanted. I was so terrified to tell him that that's what I wanted out of this business. That was my big, scary goal. And every day when I sat down to start inviting people, that's what I said. I want to take my kids to school. And I envisioned it. I envisioned what it was going to look like when we were riding to school and we were talking and I got to be the one to help them after school with their homework. I had to think about those things, and that's what pushed me. Now, your vision may not be that. It may not be to stay at home with your kids, or it may not be something that big. But if you don't have a why yet for why you are doing this, I really, really highly recommend you working on that in the next day or two. You need to have a why. And you'll hear a lot of times people say you need to have a why that makes you cry. You need to have something that you're working really hard for with this business, because you're going to get a lot of no's. You're going to have a lot of people that are going to say no. And it's going to baffle you because we love it. We love this business. We love Shakeology. We love our workouts. And it's hard whenever other people don't love it. Just like when you love a new purse and someone else doesn't think it's a cute purse. Like, you know, you can't take those things personal though, because it's just not for everyone. So I watch my video. I do my vision. The next thing that I do is I add 10 people to my network, whether that is on Facebook or Instagram. For me right now, my sweet spot is Facebook. Facebook is where I'm getting most of my people, but I'm slowly transitioning to Instagram. Wherever you are right now, wherever you're comfortable at, that is totally okay. You may not even have an Instagram account yet. That is okay. So what we're going to do right now is everyone is going to add 10 friends on either Facebook or Instagram. Now, there's a couple of different ways that you can do that. If you're on Facebook, you can go to the little feature where it like says suggestions, like friend suggestions or whatever, and you can use that. I heard a coach, some of you may know Jenny Swisher, she once spoke and said, if we have more than 20 friends in common, I'm friend requesting them. Whether they know me or not, I'm friend requesting them. And you all know, I mean, I'm looking at 3 or 4 of you on this call right now that I did not know, like before Facebook or Instagram or whatever the case may be. So it's okay. That's the world that we live in now. It's totally okay. Don't feel awkward about asking someone to be your friend that you're not really, you know, my mom always says, if I don't know them in the real world, I'm not friend requesting them. So don't be like my mom. It is totally okay. That is the world that we live in now. It's okay to friend request these people. So you can either do that. If you're on Instagram, you can search hashtags that are similar to things that you like and friend request those people on there, or people that have followed you, you can follow them back. I'm going to go on to Facebook right now. Also, I get into special interest groups, and that's something we can talk about at another time. I'll add some of those people that are my friends on there. Or another thing, you can go to someone's page and see who their friends are. So if you have someone in mind that you're thinking, gosh, you know, I really love this person and she's told me no, but more than likely some of her friends are going to be your type of people too. So for example, I have a girl I went to high school with. I would love for her to be a coach on our team. I've asked her about 500 times to be a coach on our team, but she doesn't want to be a coach. But I have went and I have added her friends to my list, and I get a lot of her friends in my challenge groups that are interested. So you can do that too. So we're going to take about 1 minute. That's about all it should really take. 1 minute, and I want you to add 10 new friends on social media. So it's going to be quiet for a second here while everyone's adding, but go ahead and get 10 new friends added. So I'm going to do this along with you. Oops. Something else while you're working that I do want to tell you, I don't add men as friends because they're not my target audience. Now, we do have men on our team. Most of them I've met through their wives, but I just don't add men because that's just not, like, my target person that I'm looking for is someone around my age, maybe younger than my age, maybe 10 years older than my age, that has kids, someone that's similar to me. Those are the people that I add. So I'm not going to add like my grandma's Facebook friends, just not that they might not be interested, but that's just not who my target audience is. Give you a few more seconds to go ahead and add a few more people. Okay, as you finish up, something else to think about. The area where I live is a higher poverty area, I'm going to say. There's not a lot of people. Well, a lot of people are set in their ways, or a lot of people don't think they can afford Shakeology. But the next county over, I get a lot of women from that area because they are more invested in their health and fitness, just things like that. So keep that in mind too. You never want to prejudge anyone. You never want to assume someone's not interested, but kind of think about that. I've also went to some of my friends that have moved, it's Floyd County, that have moved to Floyd County and offering to request some of their friends too. I just keep those things in mind when I'm friend requesting. The reason we do this, the reason that we add 10 people every day, is because you need new people to see what you're doing. You can't keep just showing the same people over and over and over again what you're doing. Now, some people a year from now that have been watching you for a year, they're going to say, okay, I've been watching you for a year, like, I'm ready, let's do this. But you've got to get new people. New people are going to be your people that are, you're filling your bucket is what you're doing. You're filling your bucket with new eyes, new people to see what you're doing and what you're up to. Okay, so we've all added 10 people. Now, the next part is what a lot of people think is the scary part, depending on if you're introverted or whatever the case may be. And that's kind of why I do this motivational thing beforehand. We're going to invite 3 to 5 people to our next accountability group. And I'm going to tell you where you're going to get those 3 to 5 people from. Majority of those people are going to come from your social media post. And that is why you have to post at least 2 times a day. Because those people that like your post, those people that comment on your post, you're going to keep a list of their names. And those are the people that you're going to reach out to and you're going to invite to your next accountability group, the people on those lists. So that is why it is so important to be posting at least 2 times a day. Now, maybe you're a newer coach and you're not having a lot of people right now that are liking or commenting on your posts. Or maybe you haven't even really put a post on social media yet to even let anyone know that this is what you're doing. My recommendation is then to go through your phone list and to reach out to 2 or 3 friends. And it doesn't have to be an invite to your next accountability group, but it does have to be just a, hey, how are you doing? I've been thinking about you. Because that's usually how we start our invites. We usually don't start with, hey, I've got a group going on and I'm drinking Shakeology. Do you want to come and join me? Because that doesn't work. We have to just reach out to people first. So right now we're going to spend, and this usually takes me about 10 minutes, but we're going to spend, because I've been talking a lot, we're going to spend about 5 minutes inviting to our next accountability group. For me, that date, and for you, most of you, it's probably going to be the same, is March the 12th. And I think it helps to know that it's March the 12th if you're at that point in the conversation, to let them know that. But right now, all you have to do is go through your friends list or phone contacts, message 3 people and just say, hey, I've been thinking about you. How are you doing? How are the kiddos doing? How's everything going? Because typically that results in them saying, you know, I'm doing great. What are you up to? And then you can start, well, I'm actually doing this health and fitness thing now and I'm really loving it. And then you can start explaining it. So if that's where you're at, you can do that. If you've been posting on social media and you have a list, then I want you to go to 3 or 5 of those people on that list and just reach out to them. You can say something as simple as, thanks for commenting on my post. I really appreciate your support. I mean, that's all you have to say, because typically they're going to respond and say, you're welcome. You know, I really like watching what you're doing. And then you can say, well, you know, thanks. My next group starts on the 12th. Would you like to join me? Something along those lines. So we're going to take a few minutes just reaching out. It doesn't have to be an invite. If you're at the invite point with someone, you can. But we're going to take a few minutes just reaching out to 3 to 5 people. So it's going to get quiet for a second. I'm going to put myself on mute too. Hey guys, during this at any time, if you have any questions, feel free to unmute yourself and ask. I also will often save different messages that I've sent out and copy and paste. It just makes it a lot easier, especially that initial, you know, hey, the one I just sent. It says, hey, Amy, I just wanted to reach out and say thank you for always liking and commenting on my posts. It's not always easy putting myself out there, and I really appreciate your support. That's all it said. So that's one that I will send often to people. Okay, I've done 3. I'm going to do about 2 more and then we'll move on. Okay, while you are finishing up, I'm going to add a little bit, I'm going to talk some more. I make sure that when I'm doing these different tasks, like right now I'm inviting. So if a notification pops up that someone commented or did something on one of my posts on Facebook, I ignore it. If a notification pops up that someone texted me, I ignore it. Whatever task I'm working on at that time is the task I'm working on at that time, because it is so easy during your power hour to jump from here to there to here, and then you don't know where you're going and what you need to do next. So work on the task you're working on and don't jump around and be responding to this or this. It's okay. Like if you just message someone and they message you back whenever you're working on something else here in 15 minutes, it's okay if you don't message them back immediately. Like it's totally okay. They will be fine waiting for another 20 minutes or even until tomorrow when you work your power hour. That is totally okay. Okay, so we have now invited, hopefully everyone got that in, 3 to 5 people. Now we're going to do follow-ups, and this is going to look different for everyone also. Follow-ups is just you going through your messages and looking at the people that have responded to you and messaging them back. Or maybe you sent a message to someone and you were having a conversation and they were thinking about signing up, and then it kind of went cold and you didn't hear anything from them. This is where you message them and you just say, hey, just wanted to follow up with you. And my group is starting on March 15th. I would love to have you join us. Just wanted to see what you were thinking. So this is our follow-up time. This is where we kind of go back and revisit old conversations, or anyone that maybe has messaged us while we've been working or during the day. This is a time when you can respond to them. And this is usually a 10 to 15 minute period for me also. So my inviting and my following up is the biggest chunk of my power hour time. So we're not going to spend too much time on it just because I want to make sure that we get everything else in tonight. But we are going to spend, let's do 5 to 10 minutes on doing our follow-up. So you have 5 to 10 minutes. I'm going to mute it. Actually, well, I think my phone is dead almost. A lot of times I play music whenever I'm doing this, but I'm going to mute it. And if you want to play music, you can. Okay, I am going to go ahead and stop there, but that doesn't mean like I still have a lot of people I could follow up with right now, especially at the end of the month like this, with it being the end of the month and us trying to hit those end of the month Success Club goals. There are a ton of people that I've had conversations with in the past couple of months that I definitely still need to follow up with. And that's something, you know, you kind of have to decide. If you're really wanting to hit that end of the month goal too, then you might later want to spend another 30 minutes just doing follow-ups and things like that. I probably honestly have like another hour of spending on follow-ups that I just really, because I set a goal of SC20 for this month and I'm nowhere near SC20. And I want to, I mean, where I'm at is good, but I'm very much, I want to hit a goal if I set a goal. So I probably will go back and do some follow-ups tomorrow whenever I get a chance, but that's something I can also do in pockets of time. The next thing on my list for my power hour is connecting. And this is one of my favorite things to do, connecting. The first way I connect with people is I go to the birthday list because Facebook tells you whose birthday it is. And I will privately message everyone on their birthday. I won't just go to their wall and tell them happy birthday because 500 other people have done the same thing and that doesn't stand out. I will privately message everyone on their birthday and just say happy birthday. I hope you have a great day, or I hope you're being spoiled, or whatever the case may be. We're not going to take time to do that, but I just kind of wanted to let you know that that is something I do during this connecting part. The next thing that I do is I connect with people on social media. That means I go through that list of people that I have that I've been sending messages to or that I want to send messages to. And I start going to their Facebook page or their Instagram page, wherever you're at, and I just connect with them. I just get on their page that they just posted to their kids and I say, you know, that's so cute. And I'm genuine. And I say things that I mean. I'm not just posting, oh, that's cute, just to say, oh, that's cute, to make that connect. I'm genuine with my conversations with people. And that's usually about 10 minutes at the most. That I will just go to different people's Facebook page, and I always have a list that I'm working from. If you don't have a list yet, then just get on social media and start connecting with people. Just spend 10 minutes, not just liking. Don't just like their post. You need to comment on their post. Whenever you comment on someone's post, then your news feed starts showing up more, your page starts showing up more in their news feed. So you need to actually comment on people's posts, not just like. So we're going to spend just 5 minutes. Usually it's more than 5 minutes, but just 5 minutes tonight while we're doing this. And I just want you to get on Facebook or Instagram, wherever you're at, and just comment on people's posts for 5 minutes. Just show them some love, show them that you appreciate them. If you have a list to work from, that's great. If not, just get on your news feed and start giving people some love and commenting on their things. So we're going to do that for just 5 minutes. While you're working, I just want to tell you, like, my notifications are going off where people are responding to my messages from earlier, and it's very easy. And I've had to train myself, like, not to respond to their messages, because right now this is where my focus is. So if you're tempted, just know, like, it's easy to do. It's easy to get distracted and want to respond to what they say, but I save that for later or even tomorrow or whatever the case may be. But just don't get distracted, because then you get into that instead of doing what it is that you're supposed to be doing. Okay, let's take about 1 more minute just showing some love on social media. And this is honestly, I love this part of my power hour because it's just so much fun to go to everyone's page and comment and spread positivity. Okay. Next, and sometimes I spend longer doing that. It just really depends on the time that I have. Something I do always make sure that I do, once you get challengers and coaches under you, I always make sure I go to their pages. That's some of the pages that I go to first. I always go to my coaches and my challengers, and I make sure that I comment and post on their things. My coaches, number one, that tells me like who's posting on social media and who's not. And then with my challengers, that's just another way to help me stay. Mimi, I was not like the look on your face. and then Mimi needs to post on social media. I think I haven't been to her page, but by the look on that face. And then with your challengers, that's just another level of staying connected with them. Just another way for you. Mimi doesn't even post. Another way for you to like just be involved in their lives on social media, not just as a challenger in your challenge group. So do that and then start sharing your love on social media. The next thing, I'm just going to kind of go over these things. Recognition is the next thing we need to do. Every day you need to recognize someone. That's one of our vital behaviors in Beachbody. Now, that could be a coach if you have a coach on your team. That could be a customer, a client, and maybe you're recognizing them on Facebook, but you do need to watch that because sometimes clients want to keep their journeys private and they don't want to be recognized on Facebook. So I always ask my people, usually coaches, I know they're good with it. They don't care, but just my clients in my group, I'll typically ask them, like, is it okay to shout you out on social media? Some say yes, some say no. It's just everyone's a little different. But even just sending someone a message and recognizing them and saying you're doing an awesome job in the group, or in your challenge group, just shouting someone out in the challenge group and saying you're doing a great job. Just recognize someone every day. And I've even said, if you don't have any coaches or challengers, like just shoot your mom or your sister or your friend something positive and just recognize them for being an awesome person. So just every day, some sort of recognition. Then your challenge group is obviously part of your power hour too. So whether you're leading or coaching a challenge group or whether you're in a challenge group, you're going to want to spend some time in there just commenting on posts and showing some love, answering any questions people might have. And that just depends on where you're at as a coach. And then visiting the team pages is the last thing that I do on my power hour. And I don't want to say it's the last because my power hours look different. Sometimes I do different things first and last. The dream team is the page that you want to make sure you're always checking, because that's our team page. So the dream team, every day you want to check and make sure there's not something on there that I've posted that we need. Fit Fighter Nation is our direct upline team. So I am your coach. Erin Young is your what we call grandma coach because she's my coach. So Erin is your grandma coach. So she's one above you, and she's the leader of Fit Fighter Nation. Those are the two most important pages for you to be checking. A lot of times, though, if Erin posts something, I try to copy and paste it onto the Dream Team so that you know it's there and that information is for you there. So the Dream Team is where you need to be plugged in more than anything. But if you have extra time, or if you're sitting at the doctor's office, or if you're, I don't know, no one has extra time. But if you have extra time and you're scrolling, check out Fit Fighter Nation's page, because there are some cool videos on there sometimes. And then the page above us, and I don't always add people typically until they're an Emerald coach, is Sparta, unless they've heard about it and they ask to be added to it. That's Julie Vorez's team page. And Julie's like my grandma coach. And she puts a lot of good stuff on there too, but I also share it all on the Dream Team page. So just Dream Team is where you need to really make sure you're connected. And then if you have spare time, Fit Fighter Nation is the next page that I would go on. So that is what your power hour looks like when you sit down to work your power hour. Now, there are activities that you're going to be doing outside of your power hour. For example, your workout is part of your business. Getting that workout in every day is, that's being a product of the product. That's not a part of your power hour. Your workout is just something part of your lifestyle now. So your workout is not your power hour. Drinking your shake is not your power hour. Your meal prep is not part of your power hour. Yes, it's all super important things for your business, but it's not part of your hour that you're working. And even my personal development, I don't include that in my power hour, because my personal development is in pockets of time. Typically, I listen to my personal development because I don't have time to sit down and read a book typically. I do have a little more time now, but when I was working full time and doing this, I had no time to sit down and read. So I would listen to Audible books on the way to work. I would listen to Audible books in the shower. I would listen to Audible books when I was putting my makeup on in the morning. Just anytime if I was folding laundry, I'd be listening to a book. But personal development is a big part of our business, but it's just not a part of the hour of activities that we do. Okay, I hope that kind of laid out exactly what it looks like whenever you sit down to work. Does anyone have any questions? You can unmute yourself if you do, and I'm going to check out the chat just to make sure I didn't miss anything. Mimi, you're not rude for eating your dinner. I eat on calls all the time. Got to do what you got to do. Where are you pulling people from? Are you working? Tracy, that's a tricky question for me. I have built my entire business on Facebook, everything. I have, until this past month, I have never had a single person from Instagram. Everybody has came from Facebook for me. Most of them, initially it was my warm market, which you'll find too, the people that you know or your friends' friends. But you run out of those people quickly. So that's why it's so important to start adding people. Then my jam and the thing that I love doing is going into what's called special interest groups and making friends in those special interest groups. And what that is, the color wheel that we have you fill out in the training, you can find special interest groups for about anything. So for example, I'm in a special interest group about camping, like moms that enjoy camping. I'm in a group on Facebook for Akita dogs. I am in a group on Facebook because Emma has a hearing aid for moms with kids with hearing aids. That's where I've made a lot of friends. That's been a really good group for me because we share a lot of personal things in there and a lot of struggles in there from having kids with those struggles. I'm in a group for organization. So and all you do is you go to your search bar at the top of Facebook, you type that in, and it gives you the group option, and you can search for groups. And the way I do it is, it's part of my power hour. Every day I'll go into one of those groups. I cannot go into those groups all the time. I don't have time to do that. I'll go into one of those groups and I'll put a post in there, and that's it. And you also can't get sucked into reading all of the stuff in those groups. You could spend hours reading things in these groups. You can't do that. I go in, I make a post. For example, I'm in a camping group and we got into our camper for the first time today. So I went in there and just made a post. We got into our camper. I'm ready for camping season. Who else is ready? And I started making friends with the people that commented on my post. So that's been my jam for the past year. But now Instagram is where I am turning to. I haven't always been on Instagram though. Like this is all new to me. The Instagram, the IG stories, all of that. But everyone I have gotten this month, besides maybe one, has been from Instagram. So that's obviously where I need to start focusing my time. I'm not going to leave Facebook by any means because that's where I built my business, but I'm now starting to spend more time on Instagram. But I've had to start being like a student. I've had to really start watching a lot of training videos and learning about Instagram and things like that. So Instagram is kind of where I'm now focusing my time, but I'm not leaving Facebook either. Let's see. Will you be doing a training call about setting? Yes, Jennifer. Actually, the way that I do it is, Jennifer, I'll get you added into a current challenge group as a challenger. And then after you're a challenger in a group, you can add your people. Like if you have people that want to join you, they just get to join you as a challenger in the group. And then the next month you'll co-coach with me or co-coach with someone else on the team. And then after that, if you want to run your own, if you want to run it with some other people, most people don't run challenge groups on their own anymore because it's more fun to run it with other coaches and it takes a little bit of work off of you whenever you run it with other coaches, so that you're not the only coach in there having to answer questions. Or, I mean, if Mimi and Tracy can probably like attest, our 80-day obsession group is like 90 people and it's hard for me to get in there and comment and like on everything, but there's 4 coaches running that group. So one of us, at least one of us, always comments or posts on something. But I'll definitely help you through running a challenge group for sure. How do you make a case for Shakeology customers when BB are using product? I don't know. Why are they using products like 310? No, I don't know. I know. I don't allow it. Like that's just... And that's kind of been a mindset shift. And honestly, Julie Vorez is the one that taught me that. And Julie, and I mean, you look at Julie, she's like $1 million coach. She's made millions of dollars in this business. She will not allow you in a challenge group of hers if you're not drinking Shakeology. Like there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. If you're not drinking Shakeology, you're not in a challenge group. I am not that strict with it. Now, if it's a special interest group like 80-day obsession, I want you drinking it. But my other groups, I really, really encourage it. And I don't really give them the option of not drinking Shakeology. But like I have some girls that are allergic to an ingredient in it. So they're allowed in my challenge group. I have one girl I know that truly cannot afford it. So I'm working with her because I feel like when she can't afford it, then she is going to buy it from me. So I kind of take it a case by case. But as far as using other products, like no, this is a Beachbody group. We're doing Beachbody workouts and we're using Beachbody products. So let's see. One of my potential high yield groups in our neighborhood group. Oh, yeah, definitely neighborhood groups. We have a lot of Army-wide coaches that are very successful because they do little like Facebook groups within the communities where they move to. So they're able to really make friends fast on those Facebook groups. But as far, just kind of going back to the Shakeology, I just, like this is a part of my group and I just don't even really make it an option. Like I'm doing this group on March 15th. Everyone's going to be drinking Shakeology. Everyone's going to be doing a Beachbody workout. I'd love to have you join me. And if they say, well, I'm doing 310, then that's when I would say, well, this is a Beachbody group and everyone's going to be drinking Shakeology. Do you think you could try it for a month and see what you think? I use that phrase a lot. Why don't you try it for a month and just see what you think? Because I know what they're going to think. Like I know after a month, they're going to be sold because it's nothing compared to these other shakes out there, but it takes people a lot of times trying it for that month to realize that it doesn't compare to anything else out there. So a lot of times I'll say that. Do you think you could I'd love to have you in my group. Do you think you could just try it for a month and see what you think? And then we can go from there. So that's kind of how I phrase that one. All right, let's see. Any other? I think that's it. Okay, if you girls have any other questions at all, let me know. Anyone watching the recording, if you have any questions, let me know. We have 3 days, I think, left in the month. Is that right? Is it 3? 3 days? 1, 2, 3. Well, 2 days after today's over. So we have 2 days left in the month. So if your goal was Success Club 5 for the end of the month, then you have 2 days. And guys, I have been at SC0 on the very last day of the month before and been to 10 by the end of that day. So it is very doable. Don't think like because you only have 2 days left that you can't do it. You absolutely can, but you have to post on social media and you have to invite people. Like that's the 2 key things. You have to be doing those 2 things in order to get people to sign up with you. And then just following up and all of those other things. But inviting and posting are the 2 like non-negotiables. And whenever I have coaches that come to me and say like, I can't hit Success Club, I don't know what's going on. That's always my first 2 questions. Are you posting on social media? And if they are, and usually I know if they are or not, well, are you inviting? And the answer is always no. Because if you're inviting 3 to 5 people a day, you're going to get people that are going to say yes. So you just have to keep consistent with those invites every single day. And to add to that, I, especially when I was working, instead of inviting 3 to 5 people a day, I would do all my inviting in 2 days is what I would do. I usually would focus on Sunday and Monday, and I would invite like 20 to 30 people on Sunday and Monday. And then I would spend the rest of the week following up with those people during that invite time. So if that's something that works better for you or is easier for you, then that's totally okay. I would spend Saturday writing down all the names of the people that had commented on my post and liked my post. And then I would reach out to all of those people on Sunday and Monday. And then the rest of the week, I would just follow up and continue those conversations with those people. So if that's something that works better for you, that's totally okay. It's just making sure you keep those numbers up there and that consistency up there. Okay, I don't see any more questions, so I'm going to let you girls go. Just shoot me any messages if you have any questions at all, and everybody have a good night. Bye, guys.